Welcome to Inspirational Journeys, everyone. My name is Ann Harrison, and today I have a returning guest. It's been a while since she's been on here, but Alison Hendrix, aka Allie Likes to Write, if you've been watching her YouTube or listening to her podcast, has written a book of children's bedtime stories called On Whimsy's Wings. Welcome to the show, Allie.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you so much for having me.
So, why don't you introduce yourself, and then we're going to do a writing update first.
Okay, sounds good. Yep, I'm Allie Hendrix from Allie Likes to Write. I'm a stay-at-home mom. Just started homeschooling this year, actually. My little girl's 5 and she's in kindergarten, so that's been a lot of fun. And most of my stories are about her. So if you read them, you know that. Most of them are about her and magic, just kind of everyday magic that you find going into your own backyard. I love delving into that. I am active in church, and other than that, we don't really do a whole lot other than like watch Star Trek and stuff. We're huge nerds, my husband and I, and Molly is learning to be a nerd too. That's pretty much how I do it right in my spare time.
So, what's going on with your writing? Kind of give us an update. I know last time we talked, you had written Lenny the Last Lightning Bug, but I know you've got a couple other projects going on too. You've got Saving Christmas Eve, which that came out around Christmas, and we should have done a Christmas show for that one. But kind of give us some writing updates.
Yeah, so Saving Christmas Eve was a lot of fun. I based that book on my brother, who's a truck driver, and that's really fun if you like Hallmark movies. It's kind of the Hallmark style romance, small town type thing. And I have another Christmas book from a few years ago that's a fairy tale that's called A Christmas Princess. It's really fun. Right now, no, we're going to talk about it again in a minute, but I've got On Whimsy's Wings. That is the most recently published. On Whimsy's Wings is my short bedtime stories, short stories. And that one's published, and I'm working currently on a book of 1 minute short stories, like 1 minute bedtime stories.
Ooh.
Because yeah, I've noticed that at nighttime we're all really tired and we just want to get to bed. A lot of times we don't want to spend a whole lot of time over reading the stories to Molly. So I wrote these 1 minute short stories that are really sweet and I love them, and I hope to publish that sometime this fall. I hope that'll be coming pretty soon, and it'll be kind of a companion to On Whimsy's Wings. And I am still working on a couple of books, but we'll see how those turn out.
So I know at one point you were looking to pitch one of your books. How did that work out?
Yeah. Not so well, but it's the writer life, as when you pitch or you send query letters and then you get the rejection letter, or you get the really long pause for several months and you just figure out that it's a no. But so far I haven't had any luck with it, but I'm not giving up on it because I love the story, and I'm writing some more books in that series, so I think it's going okay.
Oh wow. Okay, cool. So are you going to self-publish it?
Probably, but I'm gonna wait for a while. I really do want to go traditional. I really want to go traditional route on that. It's called Grindamere Green, and it's a middle grade fantasy. It's about a really fun character who has to save the world by retrieving and using magical objects, and he kind of messes up a lot. He makes a lot of mistakes, so it's part of why I love his character so much. And the book that I'm writing right now to go along with that, it's kind of the second one in the series, I guess, is featuring Molly again when she's grown up and she's found a magical object of her own that she has to deal with, and that's really exciting. And she has to deal with talking animals and bad guys, and it's fun.
Oh wow. Yeah. Maybe we'll talk to Jen and see if she'd publish it for you.
You know, I thought about that actually.
Yeah.
Now that she's got doing her own thing.
Yeah, she's starting her own publishing company too. So, but so tell me, what was the inspiration behind On Whimsy's Wings?
On Whimsy's week, so that began as a little short project that I was doing when COVID first became a thing and the quarantine started. And it was the very first shutdown that happened. When it was supposed to just be for 2 weeks, I think we everything shut down. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll write a short story every day just to kind of help kids not be so bored while they're trapped at home and help their parents because they get crazy too. So I started writing a short story a day, and that kind of turned into one a week, and then it just sort of turned into one here and there as much as I could. So throughout 2020, and I think I might have written one of these. No, the last one was around Christmas time. So they were all written during 2020, and then I compiled them together into a book of bedtime stories. That was the major inspiration. But they're all faith-based, and I like to let the light of Christ shine through where I can in the stories.
Right, and I remember you read some of them on your podcast. Yeah, so I remember some of them from when you read them, but I absolutely loved them. So did Molly help you with any of this? Since she's such a part of them. Did she help you come up with ideas?
Sometimes she did, and most of the time it was by accident. There's a story called Megan and the Monster, and it's about a little girl who doesn't like to wear her glasses, her purple glasses, and Molly has purple. Well, she had purple glasses at the time, and she didn't always want to put them on. So things like that sort of inspired books. And she'd run in and she would tell me, she's told me story ideas before that I thought were really cool, and they probably worked their way into some of the stories before, for sure.
Don't watch it, she'll be a writer too.
Oh yeah, she's working on it. She is.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, I'm proud of her. She wrote her own book and illustrated it too. It was really, really cute, really short. So
Aww.
We're working on another one.
Are y'all gonna get those published, or?
One is actually published on Amazon. So technically you could buy it. It's called Allie the Fairy. And
wow.
Yeah, she named it after me, but it's really sweet and really small, but I'm proud of her.
Hey, at least she takes after mama.
That warmed my heart a whole lot.
Yeah, she takes after her mama. But yeah, so okay, what was your writing I know you'd written the stories before, but was there a specific process to putting the book together?
So each one of the stories was specifically, and just like the little 1-minute stories that I'm writing now too, each one of them was specifically inspired by something. So most of the time, I would sit down in the morning and decide that I'm gonna write a story. I have a story due. Now what I'm gonna write it about, and I'll kind of look around and something specific would inspire it. And then I would just go from there. And it was always something small. But when I finally decided to put them all together into one book, it was mostly just because I love these stories. I love every single one of them, and each one of them has some sort of a spark in it that I feel like needs to be shared, and that I really cherish. So I didn't want it to just end with me reading it on the podcast, or maybe just putting it out there on my blog or whatever. So I wanted to put them all in a book. And then when I did that, I'm looking through it now to see the order that I put them in, because it was really difficult for me to choose the order. They say you should put the best story first. And so I put one of my favorites in there first, but then after that, it was kind of difficult deciding which one should go next. And I did put the Christmas ones in the back. Just I thought that would be kind of cool for the end. So I'm not sure if that answered your question, but
yeah, it did, because I'm about to say, they say put your best stories first. Well, what if you think they're all your best? right?
Well, I really do love these. I'm probably like all writers and think that my work needs work. But
Yeah.
I really do love these. And my I think my favorite is really hard to choose a favorite. And I have been saying that the Christmas one, the very last one in there, it's called Mr. Nicholas's Bakery. I think that's been my favorite for a while.
Excuse me.
But there's another one in there called The Shy Sunshine that I think speaks so much about me and who I am and what I've learned in my 39 years on the earth about,
Mm-hmm.
everybody has a light, and you have to find the courage. You have to find the way, and you have to find the courage to shine that light, because it's not just for you. God put that light in you to help others. And that's why I love that story. And Anne, you
Right.
do that too. I'm just going to throw in a little commercial here for Anne, because she's amazing. This lady, not just on her awesome podcast and her blog and everything, she just is amazing. She's an inspiration. She writes inspiration. She lives inspiration. She's awesome.
Thank you. So, do you have any tips for new writers or new writers starting out, or if parents have kids that want to write?
Yeah, definitely don't be afraid to go for it. That's my advice is no writer is a professional writer, I don't think, because we're learning it. You literally learn it as you go. And if you sit down and you write something on a piece of paper, then you're a writer. And I mean, obviously there's a lot of work that goes into it if you want to keep it up, but don't be afraid of that work, and don't be daunted. You don't have to publish something right away, but if that's your goal, self-publishing is easier than you think. Just do it. Just do it.
Wow. Oh wow, that was a weird noise. Sorry folks, Zoom is being a little grumpy today.
Oh, I didn't hear anything. It might have been. I hope it wasn't my laptop.
No, it wasn't you. It's Zoom. Sometimes it'll make those noises sometimes. But no, it's fine. Just it's just kind of funny. But anyway, where can people find you online?
So mostly, I'm still most active on Facebook. Allie likes to write on Facebook. I do have a blog, sunriseblue.wordpress.com. I'm also on Pinterest and Instagram and Twitter at Allie likes to write. It's my goal. It's been my goal for the past several months to make myself a website this year. So we're getting closer towards the end of the year, and I still haven't done it. But hopefully, I will have a website to tell you next time I come up here.
Well, at least you have a blog, so at least you have a place where people can find you until you get that website up.
Yep.
Right. So, any last words before we close out? A Bible verse or a prayer?
I'll say, the past few months were pretty tough for us. I know you know that my parents both got COVID this summer, and we lost my mom, and that was really, really hard to go through. And with COVID, anybody who's been affected by it that might be watching, that it's a lonely thing. You have to be isolated, and you can't be with your family, even though they're passing away, and it's scary. But I'm sure there's lots of Bible verses, and one is just not popping in my mind, but God is always with us. And I was by myself because I was isolating. My parents are by themselves in the hospital. But we knew we could physically feel God's presence. And I don't really know why I felt led to say that, but just know that God is going to be there in our hardest times. He's there. And when I started writing again after this summer, I finally started writing a story again. It was God nudging me, and he was like, look, I've been here with you. I'm going to keep being here with you. And if you're a writer and you've gone through something tragic, or you're going through something tragic, or you just don't feel like writing at all, just do it. The words will come. And and God will use it for something beautiful.
Wow. Yeah. I love that. That's beautiful. So with that, folks, we challenge you today to go out there and write to get inspired. Or no, read to get inspired. Write something inspiring and share your creation with the world. For when you've touched one life, you've touched thousands. Thanks for joining us on Inspirational Journeys, and remember, your story matters.